Okay. I just want to talk about how to get through Ember Knights in like an easy way. There's a lot of ways to do this game that are legitimate, and with enough skill, like pretty much anything can get you there. But my build here has, like, I've honed this pretty good. And I just want to focus on some things that'll get you there. And I don't even have everything that I would want here. Maybe I probably just don't have it unlocked on this account, but I've got a lot of the major things. Let me walk through this on sort of I'll call it like a lightning build. I do have the lightning skill, but that's not really important. Really, none of my skills are important. As you see me playing, you'll notice that I'm not really using them much. Really, the only time I care about them is like when using them gives me something like a shield or something. There's a bunch of lightning-based things that really help you. The number one here is Storm Ward. So whenever an enemy is damaged by lightning, there's a chance to leave a temporary static charge on the ground that stuns enemies. This does so much. If you can find this in the shop before you even begin the game, definitely a big deal. And then when you start stacking that with everything else that lightning has going on, so like Helix Sign, basically gives you an extra lightning bolt. I have just a bunch of other things that, you know, are lightning related. Most of them aren't really important. But the lightning build starts to lean on critical hits. So Volt Claw, whenever you crit, you conjure lightning. And then whenever you start just getting things that trigger on criticals. Now you see my crit is up to like 160%. I don't really care about getting it up higher than that, of course, but it's hard to get it going. I usually don't start working on my critical until I've gotten multiple things that bonus off of that. The other really big thing is the pristine band. Get this early and it makes a really big deal. And you start perfecting those rooms. But here's the thing about perfecting rooms. You can't reliably get perfect rooms if you're not like top tier, perfectly, you know, able to see everything and being... So this is not about playing perfect. This works because you do things like this. When you dodge an attack, gain 5 armor. And then whenever you defeat an enemy with lightning, you get armor. That's a really big one. When you get hit and you have armor, then it doesn't count as getting hurt. So the pristine band will give you your HP. You'll notice I have like thousands of HP. This is going through, I'm on like my 6th world. Actually, I think I'm going on to my 7th one now. And I've gotten a lot of, I mean, geez, look at this thing. It says I've gotten, you know, almost 2,000 hit points just because I've gotten so many perfect rooms. This doesn't start this high, by the way. I've upgraded all of these as much as they can go. Let's see. If the other really important thing is healing. I know it sounds counterintuitive to the fact that I have armor, but armor is just not going to get you there all the way. You will take hits. It will dig into you. You need to get this rejuvenation glove. When you crit, you heal. Every hit needs to crit. Every hit needs to heal. And then you increase your healing so that now it's you get 4 life per hit. And it's hard to even feel it when you're like, you know, this far up, but when you're on your first world run, which is definitely the most important, it goes so long of a way, because if you're doing that right, you're probably going to be somewhere around 300 or so hit points by the time you get to the end boss. And I've got a lot of other crit related things. Once you just start getting things that all deal with each other, the room starts blowing up. So I've got all that bonus armor. And then you've got Spike Shield, which you deal additional weapon damage for each armor that you have. The fact that it deals damage when your armor is removed is kind of negligible. It's not really... it's kind of a little cherry on top. It's not really what you're doing. But, like, even... you got all these pittance things. Damage 40 for doing this. Damage something else for doing that. Those things, those numbers that are just flat numbers... they never really amount to much in the end. Like they'll help you get through your first world run, but they are not what really get you there. What gets you there is the percentage ones. So, for instance, here, whenever you crit, deal bonus stun, 200% bonus stun. That's what really protects you. Is things like that. Is stunning enemies. And dealing additional percentage damage. I've got a lot of other ones that... this one, if you can find it early, will make a world of difference, but it's really hard to get early. It's just... I've only really found it, I think, once, like, within the first few worlds, and it absolutely dominated that build. Is Titan's War Gear. Every 4 enemies increases your weapon damage by 1%. If you can just kill your enemies before they can do what they want to do to you, it's very different. Because, like I said, this is the easy way to do it. The easy way to do it is you don't have to worry about dodging too much. You don't have to worry about memorizing patterns too much. You just ramp up your damage. You combo things together. And you just make the room explode. This particular one is where I moved into poison. And the game really knows what you're working on, because once I start taking lightning things, I see the same things over and over. But then once I start taking something poison, then I see everything related to poison over and over. The game developers knew to try to help you. And so you'll see this stuff that I'm talking about that you move into. Nothing really else here is really important. I've got like tons of things because I've been going over the worlds over and over and over. I will say this one, if you can find it, will make a big difference. Your crits deal double damage. I think is a little counterintuitive. People that haven't been playing this game long is crits don't deal double damage. I think they deal like damage and a half or something like that. So getting that up there once you're in a critical hit build. Because critical hits really aren't very useful in this game by themselves. They need everything that triggers on crits. Probably because the developers knew that usually criticals are just so overpowered in most games. So in this one, they kind of just toned it down. But all the things they tied to crits are so good. This one is subtle when you have it, but in my experience, it creates these loops. Whenever you heal, your crit is increased. And then you have the thing that's whenever you crit, you heal. And so then you're just going to crit even more and heal even more. And then you have the thing that deals damage every time you heal. You know, you get these loops of things that happen. I will say that outside of the lightning build, probably the easiest one would be the frost build. The only problem with the frost build, because it builds itself, it does all the work for you, but what it doesn't do is it doesn't deal with bosses. And in this one, I'm almost one-shotting bosses sometimes. So in this particular run that I'm recording, it's the bosses are... I think I got like a 3 in a row that were perfect. Sometimes, you know, whatever. Sometimes I take hits, but that's the point of this, is that it's meant to let you take hits. And then you get around to you know, once you beat that, you go into endless mode, and the enemies keep getting harder. But if you keep down this path, they can't keep up with you. It doesn't even matter. They just it's actually meant, it's designed to just increase their numbers, their health, their damage in order to catch up with you, in order to stay ahead of you. But I'm on my 7th loop, and they still can't keep up. A lot of that just has to do with, again, those percentage ones. Like here, where Wisp deal 100% more damage. And there's one here that is really fun. Now, they don't normally do that this much even. Here we are, Gilded Remains. Whenever you defeat a poison enemy, it drops gold. Every enemy, like, I'm freaking rich. I could buy anything that this game... what I usually do with that many of those, I usually go to the shop and just, you know, switch things out until I find something useful. You could go crazy and, you know, wait for legendary things. At this point, though, it doesn't even really matter, honestly. There's not much more I could ask for. So I don't even bother going that crazy. I picked up all the legendaries I found just because that's just kind of fun. Again, I'm not going to go through like everything that I have here because I have, like, I'm basically just doing a collection. Can I get every single one? Probably, if I keep going. But I've already proven that this, I'm nigh invulnerable with this, nigh. I do have occasional deaths, and that's why it's, what I was saying about the enemies scaling with their damage. My max armor is 115. No, that is not even close to the amount of damage that they'll deal you when they actually hit you with a good direct attack. A good direct attack from them is going to deal 500-600 damage at this point. But that's why this build works. It keeps them locked down, and you kill them before they can do crap like that. I've got a lot of other things here that help me. Like, I got a little thing that'll put up like a shield, which is also a very useful thing to trying to get perfect room if you have the anything that'll put up a shield for you, or help you dodge. So I've started taking all those curses. I don't know if I have them all. I have most of them. Last one I picked up was Boon of Shrouding. So I might keep going with this, but I didn't add any additional challenges. Like when you want to get to the Architect's Realm, you have to increase enemy numbers and damage and stuff like that. That would be... I mean, I have beat those with builds like this. I just wanted to see how far I could get with if I didn't add the extra challenges that honestly are very difficult. But this'll, if you're just looking to beat the game, this'll get you there. Just make sure that you go into lightnings because it helps you stun them when you get that specific, when you get the Storm Ward, and then you just get anything that'll get you some lightning. So it keeps them stunned long enough that you can do what you want with them, and then you can start doing perfect rooms, and you can start building your damage in whatever way that you can find effective. But yeah, ignore things. Unless it gives you some other effect that you want. Ignore things that are like, oh, this will add 30 damage or this will add 20 damage. No, it needs to add 1% every time it does a thing. It needs to add 50% to this or 100% to that. That's where the money is. Alright, well anyways, I hope this was interesting watching things blow up. Have fun.